So, what do you want to talk about? No. Um, where do I begin? I wasn't gonna do a video like this. I've had my problems for the past couple weeks, but after last night, I just gotta say, what the hell is going on? So, like, I've had my issues since the Royal Rumble with how WWE's booking things, and it just seems like they have no idea what they're actually doing, right? Charlotte Flair won the Women's Royal Rumble. That was the obvious choice. That was going to happen. But then they pulled out of their ass Jey Uso winning the Men's Royal Rumble. And a lot of people call this afterwards saying, they did it because Charlotte was too obvious, so we got to make a surprise for the men's. You got to be a big surprise. Yeah, but it's so much of a surprise, and you pulled it out of your ass that it no longer makes any sense. Like, I love Jey Uso, yeet, and all that stuff. He's not main event material. Just like with Damian Priest. But even more so to a worse degree, because this man 2 years ago was in a tag team division. It's too soon for him to be put in a main event situation. And they could have went creatively with this. Like, he could have jumped over to Cody and be like, hey, Oos, you and I, we have some history. But no, we're going to point her out if he's just going to challenge Gunther for the 117,000th time. And then you have the other side of the coin here with Cody, and that's why I really don't know who's winning this Elimination Chamber. We got CM Punk, who would be my pick, but I have no faith that WWE is going to pull the trigger with this, because he should have won the Royal Rumble, given the story that we were telling about CM Punk last year around this time, how he came so close to winning and was lost out of his WrestleMania main event, and then now it just seems like Triple H is just pulling things out of a hat to book, because it feels like this long-term storytelling, which Triple H loves to do, is thrown out the window ever since he started this transfer window. So, I don't know. The transfer window was another thing. It's a transfer window and people can go from... But, they did that in 2002 after they botched the draft. Yeah. But... And I don't know. Not that it even matters, because you're still having people show up on different brands. But anyway, the Cody situation. Cody, what is his plan for WrestleMania? I really don't know anymore, because I don't know, based on last night, I'm just so confused. And it's gonna lean into my point that I have anyway because of the whole situation. But so we have CM Punk that's in that match. Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, who are the other three? I can't think right now. Is Braun Strowman in there? Maybe? I don't know. No, because he was in that triple threat match. Who's in it? Who the hell's the other three? Logan Paul is in there. That's right, Logan Paul. Seth Rollins. And, I don't know who the sixth guy is. But, out of all those, I really don't know who it could be. I hope it's not Logan Paul, because we don't need that. But, Roman's not in a match. No, he's not in a match. I really don't know. Really the only viable one I can see, and it's not just because of my bias, is CM Punk. But there's there's a whole thing about, Seth Rollins. By the way, most of these are Raw superstars. And I know they were building it before Jey Uso officially picked. But, I don't know. So, like, who's the only SmackDown guys on there? Damian Priest. So, Damian Priest, don't really want that either. It just feels like, oh, John Cena. John Cena's the other one. He's the one, he's a in-betweener. He's a free agent. Like, it could be Cena, which, I've heard some people get pissed about the aspect of that. Like, some people really want John Cena to win. Like, if John Cena does face Cody at WrestleMania, fine. He shouldn't win, though, and that's my problem, because Cody's held this title now for a year, and I'm sick of these long-ass title reigns. So, whoever faces Cody at WrestleMania needs to take the title from him, and it shouldn't be John Cena. I don't think that we ever need to surpass Ric Flair's record. That's a record that stood for, 30 years now? Or so. Maybe less than 30 years. 25, maybe. 25 years? We don't need to ever break that. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, you should... No. If anything, John Cena's story should be pushing him to not break that record, but to finally get his Grand Slam by winning the Intercontinental Championship. But I'm also, on the other hand, should be the whole thing of, let's do this retirement tour that you're already botching, because he came out and announced his retirement tour in August of last year at SummerSlam, then fucked off for like 4 or 5 months, and then said, I'm coming back at the Royal Rumble, and then disappeared for a couple weeks, then goes to the Royal Rumble, and is like, hey, fuck having to earn my spot, I'm going to be in that Elimination Chamber, and then fucked off again. I know he's making movies, but don't announce a retirement tour if the guy who's supposed to be on this tour is not going to be there. Imagine if Liv Morgan was like, it's not Liv Morgan Revenge Tour, and then just sat home eating Cheetos and smoking weed or eating Cheetos and watching the girly movies for all the time and didn't do anything. Smoking weed. I know she does that, but I'm just saying, I know that John Cena's got a complex schedule, but if you can't capitalize on this whole thing, because it's like, oh, he announced it, but it's not starting to Royal Rumble. Cool. But then he still disappeared after. I mean, he announced it, that he was going to be in the Royal Rumble, and then disappeared again. And then came back for the Royal Rumble, and then disappeared again. I get it, he's making movies. But for someone who's not privy to this, and has been a John Cena fan, but doesn't, is trying to figure out this whole, because myself, okay, I like, oh, this retirement tour is going to be big. But if he's got to keep leaving to make movies, then this whole retirement tour doesn't make any sense. Because he came out at SummerSlam, made this big speech. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this. But then he did nothing until like December when he showed up, or whatever it was. At that Sunday Night's Main Event, wasn't it? And he made that announcement. And then for a couple weeks he was gone. And then he was, for the entire month of January actually, he was gone. Then he came back. It's like, what is the point? That was the Netflix thing, wasn't it? That he did it, yeah. I'm like, what is the point of this retirement tour? Like, they can't give him time off from doing movies. Like, hey, I'm doing this. We're just not gonna make this movie. So, I don't know. I just don't get that point either. Then we got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Something that everyone's been waiting to have. Like, we've seen many matches with them before, but we've never seen them face each other at WrestleMania. So everyone is looking forward to that, and they're just gonna ruin it and waste it in Elimination Chamber in an unsanctioned match. It could be a good match, but everyone's been going, that was good, but it should have been a WrestleMania. And that's another thing I want to discuss. The WrestleMania card. I'm sorry, but everything that they're proposing for WrestleMania, this sounds like it's gonna suck. What do we have? We have Jey Uso versus Gunther. Seen it. The only thing I think of is potentially John Cena versus Cody, but then after the latest thing, so here's why I made this video before I go into that. Last night on SmackDown, so first of all, Thursday, Nick Aldis went on the Twitters and the Instagrams and his social medias, and he said, I had 2 matches for SmackDown that I went to announce. And then an hour later, The Rock's like, hey, I'm going to be on SmackDown. And then WWE took down the post that Nick Aldis did. Which meant, well, never mind what he said. Yeah, because literally, and this has come out afterwards, The Rock literally told WWE, hey, I'm coming back. Like, literally last minute. That he was coming back, so they had to cover their ass. And he came out and he announced that WrestleMania is in New Orleans next year. Okay. Why do we have to... I was already sick of New Orleans when they announced it for WrestleMania 34. But now, it's like, so WrestleMania 30. Then 4 years later, we get WrestleMania 34. So it was 4 years after that. That's WrestleMania 38. That was Texas. But like, I don't know. Like, fine, they went back there. But now we're doing it again. Like, find new venues. Hey, here in Minnesota, we have a dome. We have a stadium. Use it! Like, every year, we hear, oh, Minnesota's in the top contendership for WrestleMania, and then nothing. Nothing. Oh, we get a SummerSlam. Fuck you, we don't want a SummerSlam. No, I'm saying that's going to be good. Although it is ruined. I hate the fact that they're doing these 2-night WrestleManias. Especially because it's a money-making tactic. But now, have you seen this? They are jacking up the prices for tickets. Even nosebleeds cost thousands of dollars. Especially, I know it's WrestleMania, but come on. At this point, and for 2 nights, then you gotta buy their single ticket things. You can buy one for one night, one for other, and one the next night, and then you can do like a double ticket. And it's just getting, like, at this point, like, it's frustrating. I understand. We don't want the 6-hour WrestleManias that we used to have. And it is a way, especially with Triple H's booking, where he's only doing 5 matches a night for pay-per-views, or PLEs, whatever you want to call them. Like, I get it. Sure. But, it just, I feel like, and they won't do this because they want to make a lot of money, the WrestleMania tickets should always be 2-fers. Like, if you're buying WrestleMania tickets, you get night 1 and night 2 for one price. Because that's my thing, is that even if WrestleMania does come here, one, I won't be able to afford to go anyway, even for nosebleeds. But, like, even if I did, I don't want to be able to go to one night, even if I could scrounge up enough to go. Will you stop buying movies? Shut up. Never. I'm just saying. WrestleMania tickets too much. But anyway, I ADHD. I go off. So The Rock showed up and he announced WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans. Yay, we're rinse, wash, and repeat New Orleans again. No more after this, please. Thank you very much. It could be anywhere. Vegas is exciting and new. I'm excited for that, even though it's gonna suck because of the booking. And then he invited Cody Rhodes up because Cody Rhodes came in. He's supposed to be in a 6-man tag match, and all just like, well, actually, no, it's not. It's a tag match now because The Rock said so. By the way, that's Stone Cold's catchphrase. Stone Cold here. The Rock said so. The Rock don't say so. Stone Cold said so, son. Hey, give me another beer. No, and he come out to the ring and he's like, hey, after WrestleMania, yeah, we were friends, we're cool, our moms hang out together and stuff, and he's like, but you got something I want. And he points at him and he's like, what, you want this? You want the title? No, I don't want that, I want your soul. Orale Shang Tsung. What the fuck is this, Mortal Kombat? I want your soul. What? Now, yes, the long and short of it is that he wants him to sell out. This feels very forced because it is. Because there was no creative for this at all. The Rock announcing he was showing up was last minute because he's on the TKO board of directors. So he's throwing that cock around. So, yeah, I don't... It's like, hey, I'm just here to announce the WrestleMania 42 location, but they're like, oh, but they're gonna expect something else. So they pulled this out of their ass. It doesn't make any lick of sense. Any lick of sense at all. With that, let's look at this WrestleMania card now. So we have Jey Uso versus Gunther. Seen it. Charlotte versus Tiffy. Don't want it. Because the most logical and frustrating conclusion to this is that Charlotte wins, LOL. And fuck that. And not just because it's Tiffy time for me. No. Because that is not how you should book it. Every time that Tiffy gets a goddamn title, a veteran shows up and takes it from her. You don't need to do that. Because it happened with Becky Lynch, who never should have got a fucking NXT women's title shot. And then Tiffy never got the goddamn title back. Because a lot of times when they do that, they'll bring in a veteran to come in to get the rub, right? She beats and takes the title from Tiffy, but then Tiffy should get it back. Which I think was supposed to be the plan before Becky said, no, I'll only lose it to someone who's also Irish. So Lyra Valkyria got the title. And with all due respect to Lyra, it felt like she was handed the title because that's what it was. Because Becky refused to lose it to anyone but her. That was the whole thing. Because the whole thing when she was champion, she would have defended against here and there and would only lose it to her. That's what it was. But Tiffy never got the title back, and then she got bumped up to the main roster, and she's finally got a title again. Do not take it away from her. I wouldn't have minded if we saw Charlotte versus Rhea again. And a lot of people say, oh, that's a repeat, but think of this. They faced at WrestleMania the first time. Charlotte won. Faced at WrestleMania the second time. Rhea won. Rubber match. Finally finished this. Right? Right. Thank you. Harry Dean Stanton from Alien. Right. So, yeah, but no, it's going to be Tiffy, and Tiffy better not lose, that's all I'm saying. It's not because I'm biased or anything like that, because she's also a Minnesota girl. No, it's just, we don't need her to keep losing her titles to these veterans that come in, right? I know they said that they're going to have Charlotte win a championship, sure, but no, have her take Chelsea's title for all I care. Speaking of the women's titles, just a little aside here. What are we... There were already too many titles. Then you got the women's titles. And now, not everything needs a title. There's that WWE ID thing that they're doing where they're taking indie people and they're going to train them, whatever. And I don't even know how that's going to work, but they introduced titles. And I'm like, what? Why? What is the point? Not everything needs a title. Like, the Crown Jewel Championships, no one cares. We got the Speed Championships, no one cares. And we have these. No one cares. Why are we doing this? Isn't the WWE.ID just to find people and try them out? Right? Give them tryouts, sign them. Why do they need titles? I don't get it. And it's even more confusing because they're doing WWE.ID, they got those titles. Then we have the LFG, which doesn't stand for Let's Fucking Go Deadpool. And that's also like a Tough Enough for the training people. But then there's also WWE Evolve, which I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of championships involved there too. So I really don't. No, my head. Back to the WrestleMania card. So possibly John Cena versus... If John Cena does not win and face Cody, well then it has to be CM Punk. Cody versus CM Punk. I don't know what they're doing with Drew McIntyre either. I mean, he attacked Jimmy Uso, so maybe him versus Roman? But then, it was Seth Rollins who took Roman out. And I don't know... They did that so they could run him out and he won't be around, but like, I don't know. And what's Seth Rollins doing? That's the thing. I know there's supposed to be I know that there was hints at a triple threat match between Roman, Seth, and Punk. Don't want that. Don't want that. If John Cena's not going to go to WrestleMania and face Cody, then what? Logan Paul, that's another one that's been discussed, is him facing Logan Paul. That I've heard people online like, it could be him. That's what I thought it was going to be, but then nothing happened, and I don't know. There's also, I've heard rumors of CM Punk versus Logan Paul, because Logan Paul is the one to eliminate him from the Royal Rumble, and no, don't want that either. No. Every proposed kind of WrestleMania match we have going just doesn't work for me for some reason. I don't know. They're dropping the ball with this. I feel like I could make a better WrestleMania. Yes, I'm doing that again. I'm going to do that again this year. My dream WrestleMania card. What we're going to do for this year. So we'll get that. But so I had to stretch. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about it. I don't know what WWE is doing right now. And I'm hoping they pull something out of their ass to do something, make this WrestleMania better than it seems. But right now, it just seems like it feels like it's going to be worse than WrestleMania 32, and that one sucked. So, yeah. Although I'll give it to them, WrestleMania 31 looked like it was heading to suck because it looked like Roman Reigns was going to win the WWE World Heavyweight title only for Seth Rollins to cash in, so they pulled it something, but I don't know about this time. Different person's in charge. And, all respect to Triple H, right? All due respect. I don't know, he's kind of fallen off the wagon in the last few months. Like, I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on all this? I'm going to comment so much, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one. This has been crooked the whole time. Why is it...